Hey guys, Harsh here and welcome back to Technolobe. So if you guys remember, a couple of months ago, I did a review of a budget smartwatch that is the Noise Loop. And many of you guys were interested in that because most of the guys out there want to buy a smartwatch but cannot afford one because the pricing is too high. So this new category of budget smartwatches is evolved wherein we have a lot of options today. So this company known as Watch Out Wearables were awesome enough to contact me and send me a product to review it. So the product that I'm talking about is the Watch Out, and basically it is a budget smartwatch. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into my review. Let's get started. Okay, so first up, let's go ahead and directly address the elephant in the room, that is the processor and the operating system. So this one has a MediaTek processor and the operating system is Nucleus. So this combination is pretty similar to what we've seen in some other budget smartwatches. Now the reason why the companies use MediaTek processor because it is easily available and the costing is less as well. I know that it is not Qualcomm, but still, this company has managed to get a lot from the MediaTek processor. The optimization is on point and you will notice no lag whatsoever while using this watch. I have been using it for a week and I did not notice any lag whatsoever. So in terms of performance, you're going to get a very good experience and there are no complaints. Now moving on, let's talk about the functionalities. So this watch has a number of functions, and if I sit to talk about each and every function, then this video will go on for at least an hour. So I am going to talk about the functions which I personally like and which I personally think that are useful when you go ahead and buy this product. So first up, we have the health data. So this watch has a heart rate sensor along with a pedometer. That means your steps will be calculated as well as your heart rate will be calculated. It also has a sleep monitor sensor. That means if you wear the watch while sleeping, it will calculate your sleep data. That means for how long did you sleep, how long did you deep sleep and whatnot. So it is pretty similar to the Mi Band 2 in terms of health data. So you're going to get heart rate, steps and sleep data. Now one thing where this watch is a little bit better than the Mi Band 2 is the heart rate sensor. The heart rate sensor is more stable than the Mi Band 2 and it is more accurate. So which is a very big thumbs up from my side. So overall, if you're a person who is very fit and kind of a fitness freak, then this is a very good accessory for you because the health data is calculated accurately and you can get all the data in one place. Now moving on, let's talk about notifications. So you get all your smartphone notifications on the watch, which is a very good thing. So when you go ahead and buy a smartwatch, you expect the notification features to be there and this one handles it pretty well. So you will get all the notifications and in fact you can control which notification you want on the watch. So if you want a notification from a particular app, you can have that, and if you don't want it, you can just remove it. Next up, let's talk about another good thing with this watch, that is sedentary reminders. So for example, if you want to be reminded about getting up if you are sitting in a place for longer hours, or if you want to be reminded to drink water or something like that, then you can do it with the watch. You can set your timer. That means if you want to be reminded in every 1 hour, 1.5 hour, a couple of hours, whatever you want, you can set your timer and the watch will remind you, which is a very handy feature. So I've set it to 60 minutes. So if I'm sitting in a place for 60 minutes, then the watch will alert me to get up so that I can get up and walk around for a bit. Now talking about other functionalities, it has a Bluetooth remote for the camera shutter button. It also has a Bluetooth remote for the music player and some other features. Now as I mentioned earlier, I cannot talk about all the features in a single video. So I'll do a thing, I'll drop a link in the description box below which will take you through all the functionalities of this watch. Now moving on, let's talk about watch faces. So this watch has a number of watch faces and the great thing is that you can install new ones. So there are a lot of watch faces available on the company's website and you can go ahead and download them and install them to your watch. There is one disappointment with that: you cannot install watch faces via iOS devices. You have to have an Android device to install new watch faces, which is kind of a bummer. Which gets me to my next point, that is compatibility. So this watch is compatible with iOS as well as Android, but with iOS the functionalities are limited. That means you cannot install new watch faces via iOS. You cannot also reply to messages via iOS. You can just get the notifications. On the other hand, there are no limitations in Android, which is a very good thing. So if you are planning on buying this watch, then I would recommend that go ahead and buy this watch only if you have an Android device. Don't buy it for iOS because the functionalities are limited. So if you are looking for a smartwatch for iOS, then Apple Watch is the way to go. No other smartwatch will have the functionality that Apple Watch has because of the limitations of iOS. In terms of the application available on your mobile, on Android there are a couple of applications available known as the MediaTek app and also the Fundo Running. But on iOS you have only one app, that is Fundo Running, which is not very stable, and the company is developing its own app. So let's hope that it comes out soon, but for the time being you have to use the Fundo Running app. Moving on, let's talk about my favorite feature about this watch, that is the design. So this watch looks absolutely stunning. When you go ahead and buy a watch, it is basically an accessory and it has to be good looking, and this watch is very good looking, trust me. So if you are going to wear this to a party, it is going to turn heads because it is a smartwatch and it looks good. So in this budget range, when you go ahead and buy a smartwatch, you kind of expect good build quality, but in terms of design, you don't get a lot. But this company is offering you good build quality as well as good design, which is a win-win situation for everyone out there. So in terms of design and build quality, it gets a huge thumbs up and there are no complaints whatsoever. Moving on, let's talk about the battery life. So this one has a 300 mAh battery and I got 1 to 1.5 days of usage. The watch was continuously on me. I even used it to monitor my sleep data, so it got me 1 to 1.5 days of usage. It takes about 2 hours to completely charge the watch, and once that is done, you can go ahead and use it for a day and a half. Now moving on, let's talk about that display. So it has a 1.22 inch display with a resolution of 240 by 240 pixels. So the resolution is very good and the display gets very bright. But the anti-reflective coating on the display isn't that great. So when you are going to use this display in bright daylight conditions, it is going to reflect a lot of things. So you might struggle a little bit to see the display in bright daylight conditions, but on the other hand, indoors the display works absolutely fine and the resolution is very good. Next up, let's talk about customization. So when it comes to customization, this watch is really awesome. So as I mentioned earlier, you can customize the watch faces. That means there are a number of watch faces available, you can choose from them. And also when you go ahead and buy this watch, you get a lot of options. Like you get a metal strap, a leather strap, a normal sports strap, so that whatever you want, you can go ahead and buy that. Now not many companies at this budget offer that functionality. So customization wise, this watch is again on point and I really like it when it comes to customization. So the final verdict is that this watch is a pretty solid device and you can go ahead and buy it if you have an Android device. On the other hand, if you have an iOS device, then I would recommend that save some money and buy the Apple Watch itself. Don't buy any other smartwatch if you have an iOS device because nothing will be compared to the performance of an Apple Watch. So if you happen to use an iOS device, then definitely go ahead and buy the Apple Watch and don't look for any other smartwatch. But on the other side of the things, where you use an Android phone, this is a pretty good watch in terms of design, build quality, performance, functionalities, and overall it will give you a very good experience. So that's it guys, this was my very quick review about the watch out. Seriously, watch out. Sorry for that. Anyway, do let me know how you feel about this in the comment section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Also, make a note to subscribe to my channel. Now, if you want to know about the pricing and the availability of this watch, I'll have a link in the description down below. You can go ahead and check it out. Also, the company is giving me a couple of discount codes, so I'll have them in the description box below as well. So if you want to buy this watch, you can go ahead and use those discount codes. Now about that giveaway. So I'll be giving away one watch. That means I'll go ahead and buy a new watch out and I will be shipping it to one lucky viewer out there. All you have to do is comment in the comment section down below why you want this watch, go ahead and like the video, and also make a note to subscribe to my channel. So if you do all these things, you will be eligible to win this watch. I will be announcing the winners on my Twitter page 2 weeks after the video goes live. So make sure you follow me on Twitter as well because I will be announcing the winner on my Twitter page. So anyway, that's been it. My name is Harsh Punjabi and I'll see you guys in the next one.